So, are you ready?
Let's get it.
Welcome to the St. Michael podcast. Welcome to this is a bonus episode. Me, myself, and Bly. We're gonna call it part 2 or something.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we might name it something a little bit different later. But I actually want to introduce you to, give a proper introduction. Someone who's very special to me. The love of my life, my best friend for how long this been? Over 15 years.
Yep.
And a very special person, very, very dear. My blind spot detector. This is Blytha Marie Agbajan. And let me make sure I give the proper introduction, because when she comes on, we have to bring the energy. We have to make sure that we bring her in right from the roots of New Orleans. Blytha Marie Agbajan. Welcome to the podcast.
9 in the 2000.
Oh.
Man.
Actually, I do that because of the copyright issues, actually.
Man.
I do.
I get too hyped though.
Yeah, because, when I put this on YouTube, it ends up getting if I put too much of the song, it gets flagged. So
we don't need that.
We don't need that.
We don't need that.
Yeah, we just, how are you doing, actually? How are you doing?
I'm good.
You feel good?
I feel good.
We're recording this a little bit late.
I know.
The boys are asleep.
Yes.
Yeah. We have to make sure they're sound asleep before we started this, because we just got back actually a few hours ago from Houston. Yeah, that's how you.
I don't know. I don't know how it goes.
We just got back from Houston, for our goddaughter's birthday.
Yes.
Yeah, we had a main event. It was beautiful. Loved it. The boys was like.
Had too much fun.
Yeah, now we know they're old enough to play at main event.
Exactly.
Man. And I'm glad she was there, because one time I brought the boys to main event. It was just me and the boys. Whew. Man. I want to kill myself. God.
Headaches.
It was really hard. And then there's a group of white people who were around, who were looking at, when the boys were running around all crazy, they were like problem children,
Well, they kind of are.
Yeah, they were going crazy, but they're like, look. I was like, they're two years old.
Right. And they're in a place where they are supposed to go crazy.
Yeah, it was, so this time around, it was a way better experience, and part of what made it so good is that we always get to see my brother and his wife and our nephews. It was great this time because
so much fun.
Yeah, but the only downside, man, every time we visit them, we end up eating so bad. Man, we eat so bad.
Every time we go to Houston, y'all.
What is it about? What is it
so
about?
bad.
What is it about that?
I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's like, oh, let's grab this, let's grab that. We just eat horrible.
Yeah, we got there. The first thing we ate, pizza, chicken nuggets, fries.
And icy.
Yeah, and mind you, we're supposed to be on this whole low-key vegetarian, because you're now pescatarian.
Pescatarian.
And I'm not yet. I'm not really big on seafood, but I try to go vegetarian. That didn't really work out. And I think I'm gonna abandon the whole meat situation. I don't like what it does to your body, and because it deteriorates your organs, not organs, your arteries,
all your insides,
breaks you down. But then, I end up that evening we end up going to Mickey's, one of the soul food spots. She got the tilapia,
of course,
and shrimp Alfredo on top of a bed of rice. And you had some mac and cheese with that.
Mac and cheese and
some greens. Man, I know some of y'all stomachs is growling right now. Did you hear that?
Hey, we got leftovers. My stomach is growling.
Yeah, I got the oxtails.
Man.
Oh man, it was so good. But yeah, we need to do something about that, because I was telling her that if we're on like a, like not, I won't say a diet, but if we're eating better, it has to be everyone around us eat better.
Exactly.
Because when you get around family, whether it be the holidays or any time, man, it's just like,
it's so hard.
yeah. But yeah, that was, how'd you like the weekend?
I had fun. I rarely get weekends off, so when I do, it's always fun with the family.
It was great. It was great. And then when we got back, my mom called. I was like, hello, hey. And she's like, hey, because we got back at what time?
Like 7:30.
7:30. She's like, hey. I was like, hey. And she's like, are y'all hungry? I was like, no, we just ate actually. Where are you? Are you near or something like that? She was like, yeah, we just left the meeting, but I know y'all are tired. I was like, did you want to stop by? And she's like, oh, yeah. And I was like, and then my dad's in the back, hey, let's stop by. And she was like, yeah, we'll come. I was like, oh, okay, we were just about to put the boys to sleep, but she's no, not yet. We're about 5-10 minutes away. I was like, cool. She came through, and she brought us some rice and stew, side of vegetables. She even had the utensils with it.
Ready.
Yeah, I was like, man, this is great. And it's weird because I like I said earlier, I ordered the oxtails. My mom loves soul food. Her first time of eating soul food like that was like what, a year, 2 years ago?
Last year.
So when she heard I had oxtails, I'm like, look, here you go, because I'm weaning myself off of meat anyways, and she was so happy. But then when I talk about the whole artist thing, I'm like, it's awkward because I don't want nothing to happen to her like that. But you got to feed the soul.
You have to.
You got to feed the soul.
Man.
And just so y'all know, I brought my wife onto this special episode because, in my last episode, we're talking, like, if you're new to listening today, in the last episode, I was talking about how, this little particular incident my son was involved in, at his school. And, a kid ended up, kicking him like deliberately while they were playing around, like getting up, and they kicked him in the face. But see, prior to that, we didn't have all the information.
Right.
So I kind of want to give y'all a quick update of what happened when we had our 2 meetings. We had 2 follow-up meetings on this.
Yes.
And, anybody who, whether you deal with kids or deal with kids one day, this is something that is pretty normal, pretty common.
Right.
It happens. Kids play. Kids, get rough. But then, it's about like the teachers and how they supervise and are they following proper protocol. But in this situation, there's a lot of balls dropped.
Yeah.
And had some pretty serious outcomes. But let me just kind of give you a little, a quick
rundown, I guess.
Yeah, of everything that happened. But basically, my wife was the one who said, hey, after looking at his eye and seeing that there was some pretty heavy damage done, not to his eye, but around his eye.
Yeah.
Luckily, she's like, we need to get that video. So that next morning, I went to go get the video. I was like, hey, I need to get the video of the incident that, our son was involved in. And she said, oh, okay. And let me pull it up for you right now. But then they had all these issues pulling it up, trying to, type I think they changed the code. I was like, oh, man. And then I was like, when y'all have it ready, can y'all let me know? They said, yeah, I'll let you know. They never let me know. But, that evening when I went to pick up the boys, they had the video already up there, queued up, ready. And, so my boys are in kind of like the, both Kenzo and Idol. We're in the kind of, what do you call that? Like a waiting room?
Like a little library.
Like a little library.
Yeah.
And they played the video. And while they're playing this video, like, again, this little quick backstory, but when we get up to there, they didn't prep me for anything. I didn't know. So basically, what they told us is that this is a situation where Idol is wrestling for dinosaurs, from what my understanding was, and that, the carpet, kind of created damage to his eye. Yeah. So I'm prepared for that. That's what I'm looking out for. And then, they play the video, and while this happening, I have my phone up and I'm recording because I'm ready to send this out to my wife, and so I'm recording and they're wrestling around a little bit. I would show y'all and put this video up here, but I want to traumatize anybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't want to traumatize anybody, but basically they're wrestling around, and the other kid, and again, this is playful wrestling, but the other kid is sneaking in kicks, boom, to my, son's stomach. So I'm looking at that, I was like, man, then another kick, boom, then another kick. I'm like, man, it's a lot of kicks. So then, they're rolling around again, and my, son's shoe came off. He puts the shoe back on, and while this happened, the teacher is literally 2 feet from them. So I'm looking at it, I was like, man, she has her back turned to him. And so then he it's like a kick again. And then at one point of that, the kid gets up and then boom, kicks him in the head, like targeted his head and kicks him hard. And I was like, and everyone who was watching the video gasped. Mind you, my sons and them, they weren't in the room. They were in this library, and they're like, so it's almost like as if they saw it for their first time. Saw it to my, I sent it to my wife immediately. And then basically, like, she was livid. How'd you feel when you?
I was so upset.
Yeah.
So upset. The whole time we thought that he fell. So watching the video, I'm waiting for the fall.
Mm-hmm.
And to see that he was kicked in the face, which made sense to me, because I spoke with Idol the day before watching the video, and he told me exactly what happened. So moral of the story is investigate, ask questions, listen to your kids, because what we were told was not what actually happened. And if I didn't ask Idol those questions, what happened to your eye? Did you get into a fight? Did you hit first? What, show me what happened. We would have never asked to see the video and try to make sense of everything.
Yeah, if they had told us everything up front, like, hey, someone had kicked, your son, we wouldn't even ask for video. No. It wouldn't have been no issue, honestly.
Right.
But the fact is that they kept pushing it to carpets about dinosaurs. First, when I saw the video, I was like, where are the dinosaurs at?
Right.
And then they're like, oh, he was playing dinosaurs. But then at the end of the video, she was like, yeah, we already spoke to the mother of the other child. And I was confused because they never told us that another child was involved. And for them to have spoken with the child's mother and not to have spoken with us, it just, there's another part of that was issue is that they called me. Usually, like when the daycare wants to, or any daycare or anywhere, they want to diffuse the issue as quick as possible. They want to make it seem like it's not a big deal. So what do? They never call the mom first. They call the dad. Because why? Us dads don't care sometimes,
don't.
They're like, oh, he could, he hit his eye. You're like, oh, okay. It's okay. I'm not saying this is every dad, but most of the time there's someone who's not on the ball like that, whether it be in any couple, there's a balance there. And usually for Mike, at least in this case, is me.
Yes.
And, I'm in a hurry trying to, figure out what's going on. I'm just, it's just not seeming too serious to me. And, when they called, she's used to getting all the calls. She's used to getting, and this is consistent. She's used to getting all the calls. And then in this case, they called me. And then, when I get there, they brush it over. They're over again. Like I was telling y'all, she was over talking my son, almost like coercing him to just say, oh, it was the dinosaurs. Don't play with dinosaurs anymore. And then, for it to be what we saw, it had to be her who brought who rang the alarm, because daycares, they call the dad because they know a dad's just not going to take it as seriously as a mother, and not do the investigation, not do all that, not be as thorough and detailed. Because women think of everything.
Of course we do.
And everyone.
Of course.
Men, we think of ourselves. That's who we. What I mean?
This is very true.
I don't know if this is just like a human nature situation, but like women, when they think, even when it comes to traveling, they think, okay, who's going to affect what time, all these. Men, we just think, okay, like, am I hungry? Like we just think of ourselves. And in this case, they focused on trying to, contact me and put all the story and everything through me. And then luckily she brought it up for me to go get the video, got the video. And then we ended up having our first meeting, following up with that video. And, they realized that they, dropped a lot of balls, and, they said all the right things about, how we were right about how we felt. And, they should have put a stronger teacher in the room and all these, reasons that, they weren't really, following proper protocol. And this, woman's not the way she was trained. But basically the woman which is like the manager, the director, she didn't really have all the information. So we showed her the video for the first time too. So I'm like, look at the video. And then when she saw it, she was like, and then that's when it came up to say, okay, we need to have a second meeting. you know. And then we had the second meeting. They brought in the owner. They brought in the owner's daughter. So these are the owners of the school, and the director was there as well. And then the woman who contacted me talking about, you know, it was just a carpet burn, you know, to his face. And basically throughout that entire meeting, you know, they found out, especially the owners, they found out things that they were never told ever. And it just, you know, there were some pretty serious outcomes that came of it, but we're satisfied, you know, with the outcomes. But just know that, you know, again, whether you deal with children or anything like that, you need to investigate.
Yeah.
You know, I think you're the one who's, you know, like excited about the moment you can finally have conversations with Idol.
Oh yeah.
You know, because of times like this.
Exactly.
Because, you know, in a time before, you know, this was like last year where he was involved in another incident where they, you know, he had like almost like a serious like gash, like on the inside of his arm.
Right.
And they said that they discovered after he took a nap. And we're like, that doesn't make any sense. And I was like, what do you think happened? They're like, we think it's a carpet. So it's the second time they're talking about carpet, you know? I'm like, dang, who's going to blame carpet?
And how do you get carpet burn
On the inside
of your arm? How do you fall?
Yeah. To white meat, you know?
Yeah.
So again, these are the things that when we start expressing all these things about, you know, like this other past incident which the owners didn't know about, and other little small things that we saw, not with our child, but other students in there, they were shocked and appalled, you know. So I'm glad we were able to like vocalize and get that information out there just to protect, you know, any kid, because it really it's not really about whether they were playing too rough or who kicked who. That happens.
Right.
You know, what did Idol say when you said about them being friends?
Oh, Idol said that today he's not my friend, but tomorrow he will be my friend.
Yeah, that's how they resolve it.
Exactly.
You know, so again, it's not a situation where it's about, we don't even take it personally. It's just about, did they follow the right steps and the right rules and protocols, you know, to making sure these things don't happen to, you know, other children and other students. So, but I do feel good about, you know, the outcome. You know, they took it very serious and I appreciate them for it. But, you know, like you said, you know, when it comes to like understanding what's going on, you need to do like an investigate. You need to ask the right questions.
Yeah, I think it's important for parents to just listen to their kids. Like, it's so easy to be like, oh, you're a kid, you don't know what you're talking about, you know, or you just made this up, that's in your head. But no, you should ask questions. Like, they will tell you exactly what happened, because kids don't know when they're telling on themselves. Idol tells on himself all the time. Oh, I hit Kenzo because this and this and this. Well, he knows he's not supposed to hit. He knows he's going to be disciplined for it, but he tells on himself anyway. So I made sure to ask the questions that would give me the answer that made sense to me. A carpet burn doesn't have that outcome on the eye like that. So when he told me that he was kicked, that made sense to me.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that I did ask him questions, because I would have just kind of brushed it over, just like, you know, probably any other parent maybe.
I'm glad that they're making it right though.
Yeah, me too. Because it makes me feel better, because we bring our kids there. Like, our kids are there more than they're with us. So we need to make sure that our kids are protected and that they're safe. And I need to feel comfortable bringing my kids there every single day.
That's true. They could have said, you don't want to give you free tuition for 2 years.
You know what? My friends, you know, my girlfriends, I told them what happened, and they were like, they better make sure y'all get free tuition for the rest of the year.
Free tuition.
And I was like, wait, my child is priceless. Okay.
Man.
Like,
but yeah, is there anything else that you could reflect on that particular situation, or is that pretty much,
No,
you know, them making it right? You know, we don't want to, you know, make this a gigantic deal.
right, exactly. No bad blood. You know what I mean? Like, things happen, but going forward, now we know, or they know what they need to do so the situation won't happen again. And they're making the necessary changes to make sure that these things don't happen again.
Does it mess with your, does it mess with your trust at all?
Of course.
Like, okay, if someone loses, right? Like, everyone, I feel like,
if you give people benefit of the doubt, they already start with like 100,
Yes.
right?
In my book, yeah.
Okay. If they do something to lose your trust, let's say they drop down to 80. When they make it right, they can't go back up to 100. They stay at like 80, right?
Yeah.
You know, they might not go down, but they stay at 80.
Right,
So,
exactly.
because I don't know if it's possible to fully regain someone's trust, because now you have to have a side eye,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Because and that's okay, there's an example I always give about trust, right? Like, okay, it's about a broken calculator. That if you put 2 + 2 in a calculator and it says 5, once that calculator is wrong once, you have to throw the calculator. You have to throw it away. Because every time you go back into putting numbers into that, you got to double check with another calculator.
You don't trust
don't trust it anymore. You have to literally throw away the entire calculator. And the reason is that double checking this calculator, it takes more time than just getting a new calculator.
This is true.
You know, so in this case, when you lose a little trust, it's kind of like, man, now it's going to be a little bit exhausting, because, you know, it'll take time to regain it.
Right.
But yeah, it's a little bit damaged.
Yeah.
You know, but they'll do better. You know,
I feel like they have no choice.
It'll get better because of this. I mean, they apologize again, and you know, they talked about how, you know, they're taking these, you know, these proactive steps and to make sure that doesn't happen with anybody else. But man, it does look, you know, just make you feel some type of way about the you know, how it goes with the trust.
Yeah.
You know, for them. But how's work been for you?
Work, it's been good. It's been good. The holidays is over. I mean,
Yeah, that was a treacherous one.
Oh my God, my schedule is so crazy. It's already crazy, and then you throw holidays in the mix. It's like, man, I have no life.
This is the best you've ever like done.
Oh yeah,
Holiday time, right?
definitely. Every year I get better. Every year, but this year I definitely surprised myself. I did extremely well, surpassed my goal, and kept the #1 spot.
Does it happen where when it comes to, okay, after the holiday time you have to like pretty much rest, right?
Oh yes, so you already know. After New Year's, I got sick. I was working so hard, put a lot of pressure on myself, and my body gave up on me. Not only did I have a cold, I had allergies. I had to go to the doctor. I pushed myself to go to work only to last for like 2 hours. And then I was like, you know what? I'm done. I got to go home and rest. So yeah.
Well, did the weather, I don't know if this is like a folklore or anything like that. You know, when they said the weather changes, that people get sick.
I feel like it.
You know what I kind of think it is?
Yeah.
I kind of think that when the weather does change, let's say whether it be rain or anything like that, I feel like, I don't know if I'm gonna sound dumb when I say it. I feel like when it rains or when weather comes in from another place, that germs and bacteria and things come in from come in from there. Isn't that crazy?
That sounds like something a kid would say.
That's how I feel sometimes when it's like someone's like, "Oh man, you know the weather changing." I'm like, "What's the weather have to do with?"
Oh my God!
You
Well,
getting
you know
sick?
the rain, it messes with the trees and the plants, and then the pollen gets thrown
doesn't-
in the air, and it messes with your allergies, right? Isn't that what that is?
Pollen can make you sick, like a cold.
No, I had a cold and I had allergies.
Man, double.
I had a twofer. So I was treating it as if it was a cold, but I still wasn't feeling better. Went to the doctor and she was like, yeah, you have allergies as well. So it's like I'm taking Dayquil and Claritin at the same time.
Man, yeah. So, so you're preparing for
Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there what usually happens? Is it men who just run in trying to get something last
Oh,
minute?
that's always the case.
Men are never prepared like that.
We have some men that shop like 2 weeks before, you know, shout out to them. But if you're men, like my husband who shops the day of, and I happen to find the receipt, we get a lot of those. A lot.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because this might be a little bit off topic, but it makes me think about, okay, recently, Comme des Garçons, which is like a Japanese brand, they just got in trouble they had a fashion show and they had their white models. They're like white and Asian models with cornrow wigs.
Of course they did.
Is that a problem to you?
Yes.
Cornrow
They could have
wigs?
just gotten black people to model
Yeah, I know.
and braided up their real hair.
But do you think it's like a ploy to like?
I think it's just
you know?
ignorance.
No, I'm saying, do you think it's? I do think it's ignorance.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a ploy to get almost like media attention? You know, when they like things happen with like fashion brands, and they do something that's like looked at as racist. Do you think it's like a
Burberry with the noose necklace?
Yeah, something like that. Do you think it's gonna cause? You know, it's almost like they're selling outrage.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if I could get people to talk about it, it puts us in the news. Because I don't. How do you do these things on accident?
I don't know. Well, there was an incident where I worked too.
Yeah.
You know, and that was really difficult because I didn't know how to feel about that situation.
Yeah, that was okay. There was a blackface
Yes.
situation where there's a sweater, and I don't know if y'all know. You know, my wife works at Gucci, and there's a sweater that came out that had these big red lips on it. You know, and
It's
what?
like a turtleneck. It came up to like here or something,
Yeah,
and it was black and had red lips.
yeah.
So people were like,
Did you feel it was?
upset.
Did you feel it was like a blackface
I
thing?
didn't think so. When I saw it, I thought nothing of it, and that's when I saw it like on the runway. But then, I don't know who social media compared it to an actual blackface, and that's when I was like, oh,
Oh, it's only when it's side by side.
yeah, that's
you
when I
something.
saw it. Yeah.
So
I was
you
like, okay.
feel like it could have been a mistake,
I feel like it could have been a mistake. I feel like.
but so okay. So you do feel that okay? The backlash. How was the backlash?
Yeah, it was. My store didn't really get it that hard. Like other stores, like I'm sure Atlanta got hit the hardest, but I did lose a lot of my top clients because of it.
Man,
Yeah,
how long ago was this?
this was, I don't know, last year, the beginning
Like
of
early last
yeah,
year,
early
yeah.
last year. And they reached out to me and asked me about it, and I was open and honest with them and let them know that, hey, it was a mistake. We apologize. We're doing all the changes we are supposed to be doing to make it right. And they were, very thankful hearing back from me, but then they never came back.
They never came. So
No.
the majority of your top clients that based on that
Based on
that
that
incident.
situation.
So when people say, "Oh, they're doing this for like trying to sell outrage," like get people talking about, like people say all negative. There's no such thing as bad. What is it? Bad news? Not
Publicity.
bad publicity.
Yeah.
And but you do think there is a case of bad publicity.
Yeah.
So y'all did lose clients, and this is over a year ago, and you still haven't seen some of those people.
Yeah, no, I have not.
Did
no.
did you feel that Gucci did enough?
I think, yeah, I feel that way. I mean, if they didn't, I wouldn't be working there.
Yeah.
So I definitely do feel like they did they took the necessary steps to fix the issue.
I bet people were like, "Hey, are you gonna quit?"
Yeah, of
When
course.
it happened?
Of course. A lot of my clients were asking me that. But I mean, we still had people come back and shop. They didn't take it personally. They were like, okay, some people are just ignorant. They just don't know. Some people didn't see blackface. I didn't see it.
Young Thug didn't. Young Thug, as soon as everything else, like it was like bubbling up, Young Thug had a sweater. He put the sweater on. It was taking all these photos with it. I was like,
Oh my goodness.
yeah. So if that was bad for business, though.
It probably was. Like I said, certain stores probably felt it more than others, but for my store, no. It didn't really change anything.
Comme des Garçons, you think they're gonna have any backlash or effect?
No.
You feel like people are over it?
I feel like, as soon as it happens, like what, a week later, people are back to,
Yeah.
back to normal.
Yeah, I don't know who sells braid wigs. Like these are, you know what I mean? Like these were like blonde braid wigs, and like I don't even know if I have any like the pictures. I don't even know where my phone went.
That's crazy though.
Yeah, so you don't think they're gonna have any issue?
No, I
Man.
highly doubt it.
Yeah, but are you ready for a strong week? Cause
I am. I'm ready. Yeah, it's closer to Valentine's Day, so business is starting to pick up. It's gonna start getting a little crazy. I'm ready for it. What about you?
yeah, I got to deal with some issues. I feel like I got to update. And like you heard when I was in Houston. Okay, I don't know what excuses you're allowed to get from, not excuses, let me not say that, reasons, for why people are able to call out last minute.
Man.
Yeah, it hurts business. I don't even know if I want to tell the whole.
Yeah, I mean, we deal with that at our store all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people just be calling in for the craziest reasons.
Is
I'm
it
like, I get that people get sick, everybody gets sick, but can you at least try to come to work? Like, make that attempt to come to work?
It's almost where I think everyone's faking.
I always, as soon as somebody call out, I'm like, they lying.
Is because see, do you feel like it's that because sometimes you?
Well, see, when I call out, I really do be sick, except, you be needing the mental health days. You do. You need those mental health days where you just like, you know what? I just can't do it today. But see, I would say it in a way where I'm not lying. I would say I can't perform at my best today. I need a mental health day.
Yeah, my employee had a surprise baby come about a week ago. He just told me randomly, like, he's in a situation already where, it's him and his girl and their child, and then he had another child, and then he was telling me about how, he needs to call out. And mind you, he's only been with me for a week, maybe a week and a half. So he's already losing all these, hours, and he already has these expectations, of what he would like to get at the end of each week, and, he says, today, so y'all know a little bit, it's like, everything's good, everything's smooth. And then I get a call. He's like, hey, Michael, is there someone else you could send to go do these appointments? Because, I got to go to the hospital, go do skin to skin, I got to go to the hospital, go do skin to skin with my, my newborn. And I was like,
Was it scheduled?
yeah. He says we do a skin to skin almost every day at 3:30. I was like, well, there's nobody. You're telling me this almost at 1:00. And then he's like, okay, well, I got to do skin to skin. I was like, okay, you could have told me earlier. And then I was telling my, my sister-in-law, she's more corporate when it comes to how she looks at things. And she was like, what does your policy say? I was like,
What policy?
yeah, I was like, man, I need to update my policy. I was like, yeah, I do need, so that's what makes me think, that's what I'm working on this week, because I got to make sure, that I have proper protocols in place for not to deal with certain things that are unanticipated, unexpected, because honestly, these things are going to happen.
Oh yeah, of course.
People calling out and not indicated.
Yeah.
So therefore you don't cause too many interruptions to people's service,
business.
Yeah. Cause following up and calling a customer and telling them, hey, can you do it later? It just takes, again, it's all about convenience. So I'm talking about the car wash here. It's 100% about convenience. If for some reason we have to interrupt that and it becomes inconvenient, then why even use us?
Right, exactly.
So if I can't keep that consistency, and especially I don't want it to happen to customers multiple times. So, you only get one time. But in this case, he was able to take care of it at a later time. And I was able to, I didn't have to change anything major, any, last minute changes, whatever. But that's what I'm planning for this week, just to make sure that I'm fully prepared, for not fully prepared for everything, but just update the policies. Cause that's literally how, I would love to get to a level like a Gucci level where I'm sure y'all have all these new updated policies.
Oh yeah.
Every time a particular incident or something happens, and I need to note these things just so I could be prepared, for, or at least have something that is clear for them to kind of be organized around, for them to know what they're going to do
Right.
when it comes to communicating or protocol or process,
Yeah, with us, you have to call out 2 hours before your shift. It gives you time to gives the managers time to figure out and move around the schedule and all that good stuff, just so it doesn't interrupt business.
Yeah. And tonight, I know it's a little awkward, but we have no bed.
Oh.
We're excited though, because we got
we're
new
camping
bed.
out tonight.
Yeah, we have we took away the bed frame, the everything. We got the new bed coming in tomorrow morning.
So excited.
Yeah, super excited. Finally got the one that you've been looking for a
Yes,
while.
I've been looking at this bed. Well, not this particular bed, but a bed very similar. And then we got this bed, which is better,
Yes,
10 times better.
10 times better because, yeah, I don't know. It's something about getting new things.
I think it's like just new things.
One time
Makes you happy.
one time the mailman came by, and I'm about to drive off, and he pulls up, and I'm like, oh hey, and I walk up to him. He hands me everything. He's like, your wife's ordering more clothes. I said, oh.
He just threw me under the bus.
She's ordering more clothes, Michael. And he hands it to me. I was like, oh.
Like, why are you in my business?
Yeah, I know.
First of all, yes, I am ordering more clothes.
But you know, some people get so many packages, they don't even know what they ordered.
That's me. I know. I got a package every day. If it ain't Amazon, it's all these other websites.
Has Amazon made it that easy?
It's so easy. I'm like cleaning up and I'm like, oh my God, I need to go to the store and get this. You know what? Amazon.
I try not to use Amazon. I hardly ever use it. I don't even have Prime. She's the one with the Prime.
I got the Prime.
And they do make it extremely easy. So the whole process of returning, buying is so easy that it makes you do it more.
Yes. Yeah. Amazon's on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll buy something and then 3-4 months later it's not working. I just call Amazon. I'm like, hey, this isn't working. They're like, cool, we'll send you out a replacement. Just keep the broken one. Or they'll say, send us the broken one, we'll refund you. It's never an issue with them.
I got no problems with Amazon.
No,
I think they got like company of the year last year, or might even been company of the decade.
They deserve it.
They go, you know, it's funny because
above and beyond.
You
Yeah.
know, like you're not even looking, like we weren't even tripping when it was like 3-day shipping or 2-day shipping.
No, not at all.
And then now they're trying to do same day.
Same day.
Like they're always trying to push it to where they provide you with even more. Now you like before you have to pack up everything to return it. Now you just bring the item back to what, UPS or some.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be in the box. You just bring it back to UPS. They scan this little barcode on your phone, and that's it. You just drop it off. Makes things so easy. I don't have to look for a box. I don't have to package it. No, I just take it there, and they do all the packaging.
I know at Whole Foods, they have 5 avocados for $5. I heard.
That's not a sale. Y'all must not know how I shop.
Yeah, 5 avocados, $5. It's coming to Whole Foods. I still can't go into Whole Foods feeling. I can't go in there feeling confident.
No, heck no.
Yeah, even though Amazon said they're gonna drop prices like 30% or something like that, or 20%.
I need like 70%.
Yeah, it's. I still look at it, I was like, nah. Even though it's probably everything's completely better for you.
True, but still, I like having money too.
Yeah, but what do you think about Trader Joe's?
I love their flowers.
Trader Joe's?
Man.
Hey, life hack. Okay, I have a special florist. So every time a season changes, so this is 4 times a year, I give my wife a bouquet of what the new season's flowers are gonna be.
I just love it.
And you know, I used to go to, you know, our florist, but she doesn't know which florist this is. But I used to go to our. You do now.
Well, I do.
Yeah, I showed. Yeah,
you pointed it out to me.
And you spend a lot just to get this bouquet. And then one day, I think you got flowers from.
Yeah, I just went to Trader Joe's and I just picked up some sunflowers, and they were so beautiful.
Yes.
And they were really cheap.
Yeah. Now that's all. This is not even an ad, so don't think this is
not an ad.
Yeah, it's no
No.
plug. This is me talking about how they have the highest quality flowers.
They do.
Because you know Kroger, you see those flowers, all set up. It's usually just regular roses or something that's just
basic
flowers. But Trader Joe's has those real, like, you know what I'm talking about, like football moms, baby's breath, and these are flower names, you know. And I put this is like almost like this is like a year ago.
Yeah, this is.
I put a bouquet together of, you know, all these different type of flowers, you know, on my own. Mind you, I used to spend $75 to $125 for this particular bouquet, and I mean, this one was like $25, $20, and it was a full bouquet, and I wrapped it, put it all together, and she couldn't even tell the difference.
I didn't even know. I was like, man, your florist gets it right every time. And it was actually him who put
And
it
I'm like,
together.
And yeah, so you know, Trader Joe's. I don't really buy food there though.
I've never bought food.
It's too hippie.
I literally walk in. The flowers are right by the entrance. Get what I need and just peace out.
Where is it that you buy most of the groceries? Because I don't really go. You're the one
I
who
do
goes.
Tom Thumb. I do Walmart, Kroger's, maybe if I feel like driving that way. But Tom Thumb is literally in our backyard, so I feel like I'm at Tom Thumb more than anything.
Yeah, that's one of my. That's my favorite spot. It's a little pricey.
It is. It is a little pricey, but you pay for convenience. At least,
Well, is there anything else you want to share with the people? Any good news, new news,
Man, I don't have
old
any,
news?
You know, I don't have any new news, old news,
You
or
look great,
good
though.
news. I do.
Yeah, you look great.
Thank you. Well, I got a facial last week.
Yeah.
I needed it.
What was it? The chemical? Did a chemical
They
peel?
did a chemical. Well, they threw in a chemical peel.
What is it? Hold on. What does a chemical peel do? What is
So
that?
it
supposed to
just
do?
takes off like the top layer of your skin. So if you have like dark spots, I don't know, acne, I guess.
And how often are you supposed to?
Well,
do
they
something
said
like
once
that?
a month. So I already scheduled my next appointment. But I just needed that me day. I don't know if y'all remember the first episode I was on. I said this year I'm really focusing on me, and I took a me day. So I did the facial and mani pedi, all that good stuff. And so yeah, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling good.
That's great. So you got they did the chemical peel, then they did
Like a deep pore cleanser. They even put like this blue light over my face, and it was on my face for about 5 minutes, and that basically kills all the bacteria in your face. Didn't feel a thing, but I thought that was really cool.
What is it? It kills all
It kills all the bacteria.
Is it what kind of? It's like a.
It's just a blue light.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like this machine that you're laying on your back, so the machine goes over your head, and they cut the light on. So you're just underneath this, but they have a mask on you, so you can't really see anything. For 5 minutes, and it kills all the bacteria in your face.
Does it? Do you feel a difference when that?
No,
from
I
that
didn't,
light? No, not feel it while it's happening. I'm talking about. Do you think that it having the light? You didn't have the light when you got a facial, something like that.
No,
like
this was my
before,
first time
right?
doing that. Yeah.
Do you feel a difference because of that? No.
No, I don't feel a difference. I don't really see a difference either. I think you have to keep going. It takes multiple times to get your skin back to where it needs to be. So hopefully by like the third time, I'm sure I'll start seeing a difference. But I mean, I feel good. So I'm ready to conquer the world again.
Oh yeah. Well, in speaking of skin, just so y'all know, our son Idol's his eyes healing really well.
Oh yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, it's already almost all the way
Yeah,
back.
he picked the scab off, so it's like perfect now. So perfect. I mean, yeah.
That's what kids do, right?
Man.
I'm surprised you didn't want like an eye patch.
I know, so you could be a pirate.
Yeah,
Probably would have loved that.
Yeah, because what's the Octonauts? Oh, I feel so like a kid. Oh my god.
Let's change the subject.
Yeah.
It's a kids cartoon that our kids love, so that would be like geeky.
Let's not get into
that.
Yeah. I really appreciate y'all for joining me
Yeah.
and my wife on this episode. It was a special one. And we love y'all.
Of course.
And we look forward to having more of these kind of conversations.
Yeah.
Bigger things happen in the future. May y'all have a great week coming up. Mm-hmm. Make sure it's strong. Make sure you're inspired. Get rid of all the negative energy. And be merry.
Be merry.
Thank you for joining us.